This breach is flashing through this way and it's popping right here. So Breach's teammates can safely scale up through tunnel. Now, I think this is extremely cool. I think I've never seen something like this. You don't see a breach flashing through tunnel like that. It is so crazy. I didn't know breach could flash through halls onto site. Breach is not something I thought we'd see on Breeze, especially in champs. Now, Breach has actually a pretty few interesting, like, different ways you can play him on this map. So, like, on defense, you could stun halls, which is kind of nice. I guess you could stun halls if you really wanted to. But the way that Fnatic plays the Breach and the Neon is a very, very well-prepped way. Like, the only way that you run a comp like this is if you put in a lot of time and a lot of server work. And you're going to see that in the executes that I'm about to show you. So, the first round that I'm about to show you is round 3. This is, I guess, Furia's first full buy round. Now, notice this Neon wall in mid. Fnatic default this almost every single round, and this wall denies information from double doors. They can't see, right? They don't know if anyone's crossed or anything. Denies information from tunnels so they can scale up. Also from the guys on nest. It denies so much information, but they get so much value out of it. So, Neon and Viper are running up. Oh, and they also relay bolt this. Now, what they do is the Viper will run in behind, and from inside of the Neon wall, you'll see Viper turn at an angle and shoot out a wall going either this way or this way, depending on what their plan is for the round. So you're going to see Neon runs up, the Viper wall goes up. Now, something you didn't catch, I promise that you didn't catch, is look at Breach on the map. Breach is vibing out in tunnel, and he's facing this way. And notice how he has 2 flashes now, right? But watch. He flashes. See Jet on the minimap? This breach is flashing through this way and it's popping right here. So Breach's teammates can safely scale up through tunnel. Now, I think this is extremely cool. I think I've never seen something like this. You don't see a breach flashing through tunnel like that, and it's pushing them off the angle. He stuns tunnel so that his teammates can get up safely. So Neon's relay bolt goes to double door. Breach's stun goes to tunnel so nobody can really peek out as easy. And they just have this awesome exec with these breach flashes, right? Alpha Air is getting tagged by the recon dart, but it's whatever. But again, this is just a really cool exec, and you guys can pull off stuff like this too with enough server work and with the right people, right? I mean, you have to be in a server to know breach can flash through this wall. Server for this wall, Sova also did like a crazy recon arrow as well. That's something else that we have to keep in mind. Watch. So this arrow has purpose behind it too. So this arrow goes so far high up in the air. So if you're defenders, you see this recon dart flying through the air and you're just staring at it. You know it's coming and it's in the back of your mind and you're just waiting for it to fall, right? You hear it falling. You hear it. You can't just sit here and turn around and watch this whole thing. So this recon dart lands as Neon is coming through tunnel. Let me replay that. The dart is landing. Try and focus on the Neon and the Sova dart at the same time. Sova dart lands on the tree. Neon is coming out at the same exact time. Tell me that isn't crazy, right? Like these execs that we're seeing, and like this is just the beginning, by the way. If you want to see some crazy breach stuff on Breeze, this is the game that you're going to watch. But I'm going to show you one more exec, and I'm going to take us there now. But this is some crazy stuff. All right, so I'm taking us over to round 7, and the only things you missed were rounds where Fnatic was still showing this default with this Neon wall. And then they would Viper out wall this way. Breach would still stun tunnel to make it look like they're same mid default. But then they would double back into like an A hit, stuff like that. But again, their execs in this game are just insane, right? But this is the first time that we're going to see Breach towards this hall area. And you might be thinking, oh, what's Breach doing over here? Well, let me show you. So remember how this recon dart landed at the same time that Neon came out of tunnel, right? So just keep an eye on all this utility here. This is hard, so I'm gonna have to play this a couple times. So you see on the minimap, this breach stun is coming in on rail, right? So if anyone's playing rail, they're screwed, right? They have this Neon wall going up mid, plus this Viper wall going across, right? And you also have Sova playing in A main. So Sova's gonna come up here, he's gonna drone this Viper out, and then while this is going on, Breach, he's stunning rail, but you can't tell, but he's also flashing through the floor. He's flashing through the floor into this rail area. So if anyone's standing there, they're blinded, mollied, and stunned. Anyone who plays in this rail area. It is so crazy. I didn't know Breach could flash through halls onto site, and they just pinched this Viper perfectly, and then you saw the relay bolt coming through onto Ivy, right? And then that recon and then the recon arrow finally falls. If all that wasn't enough, like it's just crazy. Let me turn this back on, but from what you've seen so far, you can't tell me that Fnatic hasn't done their homework. This is ridiculous. This comp, if you want to see an exciting game, I highly recommend you check this out. But let's see if there's one more. Yeah, there's one more round I want to show you guys. Yeah. So I'm taking this over to round 9, and this is like a very similar exec, if not the same exact exec. So Breach is stunning rail, and these flashes. Watch Furia's player models. You're gonna see that they're trying to turn from these flashes. So as you can see, the flash, it comes in right there. It comes in right there through Hall. Anyone who's looking at double door is just screwed. They're blind. That's crazy. But again, and then they get pinched on. This recon arrow also lands on top of the pyramid, and it lands in such a way. Let me see if I can rewind that real quick. It lands in such a way to where you can't really shoot it from this front half. It lands right here. It can only be, it scans anyone in this area, and I'm pretty sure under here maybe. But this is really cool to see. It's so cool to see like such creative execs. It's so awesome. But again, Fnatic ends up winning this round, or I don't know if they win this round or not. I think they lose the 3v3 post plant, but regardless, these execs are so awesome, and Fnatic ends up destroying Furia on this attack side. Nobody expects the breach, but who knows? Maybe with a little more prep work, teams could actually play around how Fnatic is playing this. And who knows if Fnatic actually pulls this comp out again? Maybe it's a one trick, last resort type thing. They're down a map, and they need to win this series, right? So, with that being said, pull out some breach on Breeze. It's not as bad as you think, and with the right teammates and the right comp and the right game plan and with enough server work, any comp can work. So, with that being said, hopefully you guys learned something from this. I know I did, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.